Hello there and welcome to this week's Weekender. In this week's show, we're talking anime-style mecha games, realistic medieval skirmish combat, and awesome World War II terrain, plus much, much more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to be in with a chance of winning a £50 voucher, thanks to the folks at Wayland Games. Without further ado, your weekend starts here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekender. I am at the helm this week.
We're all going to
glorious
die.
overlord. Our British overlord.
Why is it on fire?
I own you all. Right, so this week
Don't say that, we're not Irish.
This week I am joined by my underlings. I am joined by Justin. Hello, Justin.
Hola.
There we go. There was a happy hello. And Shay. Hey, Shay.
Hi.
He's happy
Good to bring it back,
underling.
Yes.
Have you guys been doing? Had a good week so far? Yeah?
Yeah,
not bad.
Been a fun one. We got the Spring Clean Challenge out this week, which is nice.
We did, yes. Yep. So if you wanted to give that a little look, we do have the YouTube video out for the Spring Clean Challenge. So if you wanted to dive into that, you could go and check out all the winners from this year. We didn't forget, I promise, we didn't. So it was
actually brief this year.
Yeah, it was. I made sure that me and Jerry sat down. It was only 40 minutes or so like that. So we sat down, we've worked out all the runners-up, all the winners, so you can go and check that out for yourself if you entered the Spring Clean Challenge. And if you were a winner, make sure to go over to that prize claim form, because that's where you go to make sure that you let us know that you've won and all that kind of good stuff. We will also be putting all the links up to the different projects next week, so be going and check them out all individually. Lots of fun stuff in there, so go and check that out. And of course, we will have more contests later in the year. Terrain Fest coming soon, maybe. Yeah, cool. We'll check that out. No Dungeonalia. But yes, you can make sure to dive into more stuff and win more prizes with us. But yes, make sure to go and check that out and tell us what you think. I think that we've got quite a lot to get through this week, so we should just dive straight into the news.
Coming to you from the center of Northwestern Europe. Covering board games, war games, card games, and all that you love. It's the news.
So, kicking things off for the news this week, we start with something historical, and this time it comes from the folks at Victrix, who are always doing amazing things. And this is because they have previewed their very new Carolingian Cavalry, oh, that was a lovely thing to say, and also your associated infantry that are going to be coming out for Pillage. Yes, so this is a brand new set of plastic miniatures that are going to be coming your way. It's going to be broken down into the cavalry and the unarmored infantry to begin with. Starting with the unarmored infantry themselves, there's going to be lots and lots of different options, as you would expect from a Victrix sprue. There's going to be a whole host of little bits and pieces in there that will give you access to things like spears, as well as swords and clubs and all that kind of stuff as well. They have gone and, as you might have imagined, thoroughly researched the period. So there's lots and lots of bits and pieces in here that kind of really tag off what they've seen in artwork and historical references and things for the Carolingians. So when you dive into picking up the set, you're going to have majority spears for the set. There are a few examples and stuff that we've added in.
Because they're superior.
Because they are superior. And they're cheap to make as well. Which
if you can't reach me, I stab you first.
Exactly, yes.
That's why I use one in every historical video game I play. If you see me in Chivalry, I'm using a spear.
I always go for the spear or the massive sword. Just go for a massive sword and hit people really hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I hit you first, you can't hit me.
Yeah. But as you'll see on some of the other images and stuff in here, you've got lots of different variants and stuff in there for you to build up your forces in different ways. You could obviously use this for making champions and characters and things as you were doing so. You've even got that really nice Carolingian style dagger that they have hanging from their belts. It's a little bit like a seax that you would see amongst the Anglo-Saxons, which is very nice. They've all also got that very identifiable Carolingian shield. So you'll note that it's that sort of overlaid leather dealio that also has the studs and the other decorations worked into it. Very nice. If you're wondering who the Carolingians were on the tabletop, it's the guys with the fancy shields. That's the way you're going to be going with that.
And how do you know your upper crust of society? You have a more fancy shield.
Exactly, yes. More studs. They've all been to Claire's accessories.
I wonder if they use that with not just on the bedpost.
Maybe.
The number of maidens laying with.
Yeah, possibly. There's also going to be all of your command elements and everything that you'd expect for a Victrix set in there too. I will note there's a lot more cloaks and stuff amongst this, and that's because, again, they've done the research, and a lot of the Carolingians had lots of cloaks and things, so it's sort of carried through from the artwork. Something else that's carried through is you'll notice that there's a crest for the cavalry helmets. Now, that's something that is debated within historical circles, apparently. A lot of people think the crests were a thing because you see it in all the artwork and the sort of tapestries and things like that. And then other people were like, this is just a frivolous extension. They didn't have this. So you can go either way, depending on which side of the historical divide you come down.
Surely there was at least one person who was just a little bit fancy.
Exactly. Maybe just use it for denoting your captain or something on the tabletop. Be a cool way of doing it.
Or more than likely a little bit mad.
Or a little bit mad. That also true. You will note that a fair amount of the troops as well just don't have helmets, and that's because a lot of the Carolingians just didn't fight with the traditional helmets that you would expect. Pretty much, yes. So there's a lot more bare heads and soft caps in there.
You don't want helmet hair.
Exactly, you don't want helmet hair.
Why would we give you helmets? There's nothing inside your head anyway.
I said you're really doing down the Carolingians here, Shay. I
don't even know who they are. I like making fun of people. That's what makes
it okay.
Exactly.
Jerry's not here. I have to take over the mantle.
That's true. But again, a really, really nice set that's coming out. We'll have both the infantry and the cavalry as part of that set, or upcoming sets, I should say. So if you're diving into Pillage with the Carolingians, you're going to have plenty of options to do so and have a good time with them. So yes, that is just a preview of that for the moment, but it will be coming out very, very soon. They're going off to the toolers and all that kind of good stuff as well. So nice bit of historical stuff to get started. A little bit of Dark Age as well. But Shay,
yes,
I gave this to you because, of course, I know you like them. So we've got some
really went, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, we've got some new pre-painted terrain coming out of Micro Art.
Yes, we absolutely do.
World War II range,
and it looks absolutely fantastic for Stalingrad in particular, which is very nice. I must say, Micro Art Studios do some very good things anyway,
really
and this looks. To be honest, this looks lovely. Also, before we continue any further, as I'm taking over Jerry, I'm not doing medieval. Put that in there.
Are you doing Stalingrad?
I think about it.
Kind of caught you there.
Yeah.
No, all I'm saying is he's about to be Millard in a second. Once he comes around that corner, he's about to get a surprise of a lifetime because his life's about to end.
Armor. Yeah.
But no, this train looks...
There's one little dude at the front that could warn him, but he's not going to.
No, he's not. He's probably Italian. But no, this terrain looks absolutely fantastic. It all comes pre-colored. And as far as I can see, I know the Micro Studio stuff is very good quality anyway. Yeah. But I've seen some people were talking about how it's actually very easy to build too, which is very nice. And I mean, just look at it. Look at that. Hold on, let me bring out the big pictures and stuff. You got all the little posters and stuff built in, which is lovely. The different types of brickwork. It's just, I mean, look at that.
That looks huge.
Isn't it? It looks amazing.
Yeah, that's a nice centerpiece.
Curved pillars. Yeah, it's very, very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of the things that's been really nice about seeing this range expand, because they had a few bits out, I think, already, but the buildings they'd planned initially were all one piece. So that room was actually going to be one set that you'd buy, but they realized that what they were making was too big. So they split it up into smaller sections. So you can buy all of these ruins individually if you like. But yeah, as you're saying, they're all sort of pre-painted. So it's UV sort of printed essentially onto the surfaces, which is much in vogue at the moment. I suppose you'd say.
Yeah.
I just have enemy at the gate stuck in my head right now.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, especially with the
it's
factory
very
stuff.
enemy at the gates. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Okay.
fantastic.
I want that table.
Yeah,
All of it.
as a Stalingrad table, as a Stalingrad man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You're sort of nailed on for
absolutely.
this, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, I
If you
really
think,
am.
just a little bit of extra like snow flocking on that on a winter table. That's going to look badass.
Damn right. Damn
Well, I
right.
think
Where's the fountain though?
What was that? Sorry.
Where's the fountain?
Oh yeah, you do need a fountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
See what do you think you're missing, Micro? Get on it. Go on.
Yep. Chop.
Kill some German officers in a fountain. Yeah. I really liked the stuff that they've done for this because it's not just sort of bombed out buildings. So you do have things like the apartment set there, I think, which is a really nice one. But one of the if you go up to that one, the Univermag, yes, that's it. That was an old department store that has now obviously just become a battleground. And what I really liked about it as well is that you've got the different layers to it. So it's not just the ground floor of this building. You've got the second and third floor, well, first and second floor and stuff like that in there too. So you've got plenty of little nests for snipers. And the fact that all the interior is still detailed as well just sort of takes it to the next level, I think. Which
Damn
is
right.
cool.
It's very, very nice.
It does the thing that Jerry was talking about last week in Cult of Games for the MDF style terrain as well, where it's thick, so it looks like a good solid wall because obviously you've got a few different printed sides to it. So some really nice details on that front as well.
Because it is thick. Look at it.
Yeah.
It looks very nice.
2 C's.
Also, less easy for me to destroy.
The Soviets always built with about a half to it.
Yeah, very true.
Nice to see it translated. Look, you know what I would love to do with
terribly
this?
built.
What would you do, Justin?
I would love to do a Sniper Wars game.
Ooh, okay.
So take the mechanics from Infinity for the TO camo, where you're just putting down markers and potential markers, and each person gets like 5, and it's you trying to hunt out and figure out which sniper is which.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But you also have like NPC units from both sides patrolling through, and so your scoring points are taking out the units.
Yeah.
But you might reveal your position to the opposing sniper and get counter sniped.
It's like Sniper
Elite,
fun, but an actual miniatures game.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all fun and games until your sniper's really good and you lose him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
the miniature, don't remember.
Justin's going to be building that game, and it'll be out next year. So,
Justin,
promising my work.
You have 4 months, so get to it.
Okay.
So no, some very good stuff there out of Micro Art. As we're saying, all pre-painted, all ready to go, all 28mm scale, so it's perfect for things like bolt action. Or if you're going to be playing Conflict 47, absolutely nailed on for that.
Yep.
You know, a lot of fighting in ruins and that. So
a good option for your terrain fest when it rolls around.
Yes, and comes with those big bundle packs as well. So you can buy them as individual sets, or you can buy the whole table. It's called the Bolshoi bundle, which I thought was quite good. So if you want to get your hands on that, you can do. It's a little bit expensive, but you've got an entire table's worth of terrain, all pre-painted, ready to go.
Yeah.
So very, very nice on the World War II front. But turning to a different type of war, a war on the streets, a little bit of an urban war. We have some 15mm stuff coming out of the folks at Alternative Armies, Justin.
Yes, so we have something very small yet perfectly formed and very, very sci-fi. So what we are seeing is a new set of OmniCop miniatures in 15mm. So first up, we have the regular officers running around, pistol in hand, move along, nothing to see here, absolutely fine.
Citizen.
yes. Every last one of them just has to constantly go, move along, citizen. So each of the sets, you're getting a mixed pack of like 10 guys in single poses, which is really nice. Here we can see the front and the Lloyd shot.
Of course, necessary.
You got to have a Lloyd shot to show off their lovely police butts.
I love that that's still a thing so many years later.
Yeah,
they're finely crafted asses.
Oh yes, got to get that booty shot.
Yeah.
So. I see what you did there.
Very good, very good.
So, as well as the officers, we have the gangbusters. So these guys, a little more heavily armed. You've got one guy there who's just taking all the guns. Like, I will have you.
Respect it. I am the law, times 2.
Respect my authority.
Yeah.
Hot shot. What did you say? Hot shot.
Yeah. Oh, I wish they would do a second one of those. It would be so good.
So good. Carl Urban. Dread.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Peak.
only movie I've watched in 3D where the 3D actually looked decent.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, just that slow-mo of the floating water bubbling out from the screen was just like magical.
Very good.
It was worth the extra £10. Yeah.
Hang on, extra tenner. Jeez, the cinema's expensive over
I
in your
live
neck of the
over
woods.
here
Dan.
in England. Everything's more expensive.
Yeah.
I pay for my
Everything's more
water,
expensive.
damn it. Anyway.
First world problems, buddy.
Yeah.
As well as our lovely gangbusters, we then have even heavier armed ones
Mhm.
with the OmniCops support. So we're seeing rocket launchers, big
God
bad
bless.
rifles, something to go skaboom boom.
Laser guns, all sorts of things like that.
Mhm.
It always reminds me of the Batman Begins quote where it's like, you give them pistols, they get assault rifles. They get assault rifles, we get body armor, that kind of thing. So it's like that
Yeah.
building escalation
Yeah.
of stuff between the gangbangers and the sort of police
Yeah.
on the
And
on the
then the
streets of
one
some
that
kind of
will be
cyberpunk
most
city.
familiar to myself and Shay, the riot police. Why are you laughing? It's true.
They just need some 4x4s.
Nah, they're not wearing enough green.
Oh, you can paint them however you want, though, Shay.
That's
Also,
true.
they haven't fired any water cannons at us yet, so.
Fair.
They're all water pistols. They're not actually. Yeah.
Makes sense.
You know what you need, Shay? You need to get these, play a game, and the water cannon is just you have a super soaker under the table.
Just spray my opponent.
Yeah, so these guys, they've got some kind of sci-fi shock battons, or just sci-fi clubs.
Yeah, it's just a club.
And
It's just a big bit of metal.
It's just
Yeah.
a sci-fi club. But
It's
they
the
made
most
it look tacky.
effective.
And you have the one
Historically.
guy who didn't get the memo that they were to use non-lethal force with the pistol.
Yeah. I like to think that he's like the leader or something of that set.
It's not.
maybe,
It's
but-
not non-lethal. It's less lethal. Come on, get it
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, fair. That's probably
It's just-
some kind of
it's a
beanbag gun.
small. It's a snow. That's less than lethal. This is less lethal. It's a smaller caliber.
So it's 2.
I did like how detailed these were. They're all really, really nice. There's so
they
much
are.
sort of extra stuff worked into them. You can tell where all the segments of the armor are and their faces. I really like that their expressions are all like proper sneers as well. So they're proper like evil dudes from OmniCop, which
They
is
zoom
quite
in.
cool.
They're
You've got
not
little
evil,
patches
they're
on
just
there
corporate.
too.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Maybe there could be a corpo police force if you're going down that route as well.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
You could do something, a little bit Judge Dredd, maybe a little bit RoboCop. Could be fun.
you could maybe
Well,
use these guys for Cyberpunk too as well. You probably
could
do
do.
like
Could
a
do.
proper corporate
Could do.
police force.
Yeah. They actually
yeah.
look quite similar in sort of attire to the ones from Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
Video game and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really nice.
And then the actual company themselves do a lot more than just this. There's like civilians, there's gangers, and I think we should have a link to some Judge Dreddy style stuff.
Yes.
I can't believe it's not Judge Dredd.
Yeah, so you have the law
Look at it.
officers in there too.
Yeah.
So.
I love this guy. Ah!
Yeah, he has had a very bad day. Give him a minute.
No way. He's a judge. Just ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
No, that's clearly a rookie who has just failed their final
Yeah.
test.
Yeah.
Just curled up in a corner. No.
A helmet blocks my psychic abilities. I think a bullet would do
Yeah.
that more.
But yeah, lots of good stuff there from the alternative
Yeah.
arms crew, and as you say, there's
Yeah,
loads of
but there's-
civilians and all sorts.
Yeah. If you go down the bottom, Shay, there's one that I would love to show off. See the middle one? The
Thugs and
Thugs and
Civvies.
Civvies.
Yeah.
Because it actually comes with some vehicles.
Mm.
Wow.
So-
Look at that.
You have your wambulance, maybe.
Yeah.
Wambulance.
Here's the thing, Dan. You could very easily transfer the Guards of Traitors tool rules to this.
Yeah, that'd be
And
yes.
do it in 15 mil cyberpunk.
That's true. Yeah.
And instead of trying to keep the peace, you're just like, I keep the peace by shooting you.
What are you doing keeping the peace?
I mean, it's going to be peaceful if everybody's 6 foot under.
Well, that's
Exactly.
true. Yeah, that's how it works.
There's nobody to riot.
It's an
There's no
option.
riot.
Just saying.
But yes,
No, lovely stuff.
some fun
Yeah,
stuff
fantastic
there
though.
from alternative armies, and as you say, lots of things for you to dive into if you're interested in 15 mil sci-fi. Loads of companies out there that do really good terrain that would work very well with that. Of course, you could dive into the 3D printing realm as well if you prefer.
Yes.
So yes, that is the news for now. We'll be back with even more after we've had a look at some crowdfunding campaigns.
Did you win one of our prizes? Find out on our prize claim center over at OnTableTop.com. Here we list all our previous prizes and those who have won. If you see your username, fill out the form to claim your prize. All prizes must be claimed within 30 days.
So we're back with some crowdfunding campaigns, and the first one is one that we previewed a little while ago on the site from the folks at the Black Site Studios. Now, they are kings and queens of the sort of indie game market at the moment, creating all sorts of fun and interesting sort of smaller scale games for you to dive into and have some fun with. But most recently, they have hit up GameFound with Mobile Arms, Mecha Wargaming in the Worlds of Tomorrow, which is their awesome anime-style skirmish game that you can dive into right now. Now, there will be some people who have gone, Mobile Arms? Didn't this come out like last year? It did, but they are back with a slightly more revised and updated take on this alongside new miniatures and, most importantly, a new starter set for you to dive into and play your games with. So, what is Mobile Arms? Well, if my overexuberant intro didn't tell it, it's a mecha war game for 2 to 4 players where you're going to be fighting it out with 32mm scale mechs, which obviously means they're pretty big. And you'll be battling it out in very quick, brutal, deadly skirmishes on the tabletop. I watched the gameplay video for this. One mech went down in like 2 or 3 activations because of it just moved out into the open. So it is very, very much on the sort of idea of like, if you put yourself in a bad position, you're going to get shot to damn and you're going to be blown up, which is pretty cool.
Shot to buggery and back.
It does mean that you can dive in and play games in like 20 minutes, half an hour, especially with that starter set. Games will go very, very quickly. It's all based around, as I say, this new starter set, which will come with updated frames, as they call them, for using your mecha games. You get the new Kodiaks and the Tiburons, which are 2 options that you could choose from there, which looks super cool with their really nice facings on them. Very dynamic.
It's given me very strong Armored Core vibes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're all made of a PVC plastic, so they come as just a one model thing. You just set it down and start playing if you want to. You don't even have to paint them if you don't want to go down that route, which is quite cool. Gameplay itself is all based off heat, as any good mech game is. Yes. So you have to do, on your activation, you have to do sort of like a mandatory move because your mecha is sliding around looking all anime and cool, obviously. But then if you want to do any extra stuff, you spend heat to do things like shooting, moving further, all sorts of special abilities and that kind of thing. Well, when you get to the end of a phase, you can then vent all that heat and you can go back to normal and you can start fighting again later on down the road.
Run it to the red line.
Run it to the red line, exactly. But importantly, your enemy can spend heat to interrupt your activations to shoot you back in classic sort of ARO style-y sort of overwatching. So if you run out into the open with your mech, you could burn heat to take a shot as you're like running across the open ground, and then your opponent could go bam, 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 charge up their railgun and blast you from afar and try and take you out before you get into cover and all that kind of good stuff. There's lots of really nice balancing sort of push your luck elements in there. The other thing I really liked is that it's very sort of open and, as the name would suggest, mobile. So you're not sort of sitting still, hunkering down behind cover and just blasting people from afar. You're actually encouraged to move around, take objectives and stuff like that in order to sort of win the game, which I think is a really nice bonus to this. So you just get to sit there with your sniper mechs or whatever it is.
Feels very video gamey. I like it.
Yeah. Snipers in anything.
I like snipers.
Bro, come and fight me, man.
Fight me like a real man.
Oh, you got a mouse and keyboard? You suck. I'm playing on controller, bro.
Nerd.
The other thing they've added into this is that it's all based on sort of tonnage. So each of your mechas, your frames, will come with a tonnage value, which you'll build to. You'll then throw in additional sort of special abilities and things like that. It's not just about the frames, though. It's also about the pilots, because the pilots also come with their own skills that they can bring to particular frames to make them better or worse. Obviously, different ways. You can get sort of like that sort of min-maxing thing going on there, which I think is quite cool. Hello,
anime pilots.
Well, I know pilots, yes.
Pick the wrong one. I'm not rated on this rig.
What's also cool is that if your mech goes down, if your frame goes down, that doesn't mean you're out of the fight, because you eject from the frame and can still keep fighting with a little pistol. you then suddenly have a lot more maneuverability because you're just a little person running around with a little gun, and you can shoot back at the frames that you're fighting against, obviously. But that does mean that if a mech ever gets you in their sights, you're probably dead. So
it's kind of like that moment in Pacific Rim where it's I want to do something really, really stupid, and they fire a flare gun into the eye of a kaiju.
Yes. So you can try and go down that road, which I think is quite nice. All of this is compatible with the existing mobile arms range. So everything that came out, I think it was last year or the year before, anything that came out before in the previous version of mobile arms is still carried over into what you're seeing here. So this is just essentially a update and a revamping of those rules. Nice. And also, most importantly, that starter set to sort of get you going. And obviously the availability of this as PVC miniatures rather than just having them as STL files for you to download. Although, of course, you can go the digital route if you like. You'll get everything you need to play games in the set. So you get all of your terrain, you get all your markers, your tokens, your accessories, get all of your cards for running all of your various characters as well. You get the really nice upgraded terrain if you want to go down that route as well with some of the bigger sort of buy-ins for this. So you get that really nice MDF terrain that the folks at Blacksite do, which is all pre-colored. So you can dive in and use that on the tabletop, which is very nice.
Very fancy.
And of course, there's lots and lots of different frames, mechs that are frames for you to dive into and get your hands on beyond what you get for the Kodiak and the Tiburon. But as I say, that sort of starter set, they sort of put together a fun little demo game, which you can watch over on the Game Found campaign. Nice. It's over very quickly. So it's a perfect game for introducing people to, and you will immediately go, well, I need more frames to play bigger games, please. So you're probably going to go out and get even more. Or, of course, you could kit bash and do all sorts of different things with stuff that's available out there on the internet as well. And yes, Shay, they have foilies.
Yeah, I know. Look how shiny it is.
You got some shinies.
Oh, my God. It's so shiny. I also want to know how big this is. The mining crawler.
I mean, if a mecha, if a frame, is about as big as the cabin, that is huge.
Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, because I was like, $56, that's a decent amount for one terrain piece. And I went, wait a minute, those mechs are massive.
Yes. As well as that, the rulebook itself has been expanded with even more stuff in there too. So, as I said, they've got the updated and revamped mechanics, but they've also got even more scenarios as well as full campaign rules for you to dive into and have some fun with. There's also loads and loads of more anime-style art and photography and things that they've added into the book to make it even more plush. So if you're somebody who was waiting for the Gundam miniatures game, but you can't be bothered to wait until 2026 in order to dive into that, you could just come and play Mobile Arms because it looks pretty badass. Dive in, have some fun with this, and see what you think. Now, obviously, Blacksite being in America, shipping things over from them might be a bit much. Obviously, the campaign tries to limit that and things. But hopefully, we will have merchants over here in the UK and the EU and stuff who will be able to help.
Surely they'll do an EU distribution hub.
Yeah, possibly. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yes,
fingers
very,
crossed.
very cool stuff there for Blacksite. For Mobile Arms, Mecha Wargaming in the worlds of tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Very cool.
Your voice goes so like 80s trailer presenter.
Yes.
Have you seen they're remaking The Running Man to be closer to the original book?
I have seen, yeah. Ooh. I watched the original Running Man last weekend. And I was like, well, this is campy fun. And I think the new one looks really good as well. So, yeah.
It's interesting to see just how different the old bad 80s one was to the novel, because I've actually read the novel now.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll have an ice hockey-based engagement.
Here is Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
Or an operatic electrified man. Yeah.
No, I hate him.
I will say, though, Arnie looked way better with a beard. In the opening stuff for the Running Man movie, he has a beard and he looks super badass. He needs more of a beard. But anyway, there we go. Right, so leaving Arnie behind and the worlds of tomorrow, we have another Kickstarter which comes from Gripping Beast and Robert W. Jones. Now, for those people who have watched our Cult of Game shows and seen our Indie of the Week, we have talked about this already, but now the campaign is live at the time you're viewing this. And this is for Écorcheurs, which is a new skirmish.
Just offended every Frenchman on the planet.
No, that's how it's said. Écorcheurs, which means flayers. And this is a brand new skirmish game from Jones, who is a historian themselves. Now, the background to this. It was designed because when Robert was looking at all the other medieval war games out there at the moment, he was like, this doesn't really accurately represent the skirmishes and the fighting.
Stop touching it.
You're doing it wrong, yes. of the sort of 100 Years' War period in particular. And so what he's tried to do with this game is represent those skirmishes on the tabletop as he imagines them. Because one of the things that's quite nice about Robert is not only is he a game designer and a historian, but he's also a living historian. So he does the fighting. He dresses up in the armor. He fights the combats. He does all of the martial arts and that kind of thing that you would require for diving into doing medieval fighting on proper battlefields and that kind of stuff. So he knows what it's like to wear armor and what you can see and what you can feel and what you can hit and all that kind of stuff. And so he's tried to then bring that across into Écorcheurs on the tabletop. It's ideal for small tables. You're normally getting between 20 and 40 men per side. Plays with armies that can be from 15 mil all the way up to 28 mil, although of course you go a little bit bigger if you desired, I suppose, as well. Mm-hmm. Everything in the game is scenario driven. So it's very much a game of friends playing medieval stuff on the tabletop. There are no real lists. There's no points, as it were. It's very much about engaging in the what would have been there at the time, what would have been cool. If I take X and Y, why are they fighting on the tabletop, et cetera, sort of building up that sort of background to your games, which I think is a very nice way of doing things. As Robert has said in over on their website and stuff about Écorcheurs, they've played far too many games in their history and lost far too many games to care about balance. So, so it is balanced by history. And that is probably how it should be.
So every fight is unfair.
Every fight is unfair, yes. So there's some other really cool sort of tie-ins to this, which I think are really nice mechanically. Very much focused on the leader's ability and the leader's ability to lead effectively out on the tabletop and command the troops around them. You have a sort of like area of effect that you can issue orders to when you're fighting on the tabletop. Characters also come with traits, both chivalric and not, that they've sort of gained over the course of their careers. And that sort of evokes the feel of those legendary characters that you would imagine from the period, those mighty and heroic commanders on the tabletop, makes them slightly better than the average man. A lot of it is also all about sort of maneuvering and getting yourself in the right position to then charge into combat, because one of the things about medieval combat was once you charge in, that's pretty much it. You're going to fight until you're dead, or someone says, please stop, I am tired. Which did happen in some cases. So it's all about sort of like those moment-to-moment decisions and sort of when you pick your time to dive in. There's some other stuff that's tied into that as well, which is quite cool. So the other thing that's nice about this is, as I mentioned, chivalric stuff. That plays an effect in the game. If you are a chivalric man and you fight against someone who is also chivalric, if they are in a sticky position and they look like they're going to be beaten to death, they can play a joker effectively to be like, I put my hands up, I surrender. I don't know why he was nearly French.
Nearly French. He was French adjacent.
I surrender. And that means that you can't hurt them. You just have to take them prisoner on the tabletop, which then could lead into more scenarios down the line. However, if you are an unchivalric man, then you can just go, no, pull out your killing dagger and just stab them through the helmet.
Really?
Which I think is quite cool. The other thing they've done with this is they have dived into a sort of interesting dice system. So you can play this with D6 and all of the dice sort of match a particular facing on them. But the custom dice are in there for a very specific reason. So, as I say, you can play it with D6 if you want. If you're just diving in, you don't want to get the custom dice, play that way. But, as Robert said, introducing the icon dice is something to wargamers' brains. When playing with them, even the most competitive gamer stops trying to calculate odds and stops asking, what do I need to roll? And instead becomes enmeshed within the storytelling. It's a fascinating bit of wargaming psychology, which I really like. Yeah. Because each of the dice faces equates a different thing that's happening in combat. So you have strikes, which are denoted by things like the swords. You have feints, which are denoted by cross swords. The mace symbol is more of a stun. Shield is obviously a shield. You also have things like there's a gold symbol on one of the dice as well. I think there's actually more of them further down, which is sort of a bribe. What happens with the gold coins is you get them, and that allows you to do more activations later on in the turn, which is quite cool. So, and the gold goes back and forth between the two players. So you could sit there and you've got initiative. You could spend all of your coins moving up the table, blah, blah, blah. But then if you spend all of your coins, suddenly you have nothing to activate with, and it passes to the other player, and they can just do 5, 6 activations in a row where they get to just charge forward and choose what they're doing with all of their actions. You can sort of vie for control of that with dice rolls and stuff and the command abilities of your leaders. It's a really nice sort of back and forth in terms of the mechanics and the sort of economy of the game, the currency of the game, which I think is quite nice. And again, that sort of all plays into the idea of this being a narratively driven, scenario focused style affair on the tabletop. So you're trying to build up a really interesting story on the table rather than necessarily just being like, well, I want to score 5 points because I go here and I claim this objective, which I think is a good way of doing things. Now, there's lots of other stuff that's been folded into this. As I said, it's based on the 100 Years' War. There is a specific sort of time period for this, and sort of fought around that idea of the 100 Years' War between England and their allies and France and their allies. And there's a campaign in the book, which is all about Edward III's 1346 campaign that led to the Battle of Crécy. So you can follow that through. They've also added in a free PDF for backers, which is really fun. It's the Combat of the 30, which took place in 1351. Now, one of the things I said about Écorcheurs is that it's not necessarily all about just killing your opponent. Sometimes it's about taking enemies, ransoming them, taking money and all that kind of thing to build up your pot that you can use for further conquests. The Combat of the 30 was amazing because this took place during the War of Breton Succession, when 2 rival garrisons, one that supported the English and one supported the French, decided to have a battle of machismo. And so both sides chose the best 30 knights from their garrisons, sent them out into the field, a bit like a football game, and just said, batter each other. But it was a full-on chivalric affair. So instead of just killing everybody, they were like, I've beaten you, and now you lie on the floor, and I'm like, I'm out. Drag me off the field,
like
please.
a reenactment, like an actual reenactment.
Yes.
Is there a border like that in the world today where it's like 2 armies and the only rule is don't kill each other, just grab sticks, clubs, whatever, and go beat 7 shades of shite out of each other?
That kind of thing. So yes, it's all, and I thought that's amazing. And so that's going to be done as a proper PDF for you to get as part of the campaign, which I think is really, really cool. They have also got miniature rewards because this is being published by Gripping Beast. So Gripping Beast, who obviously have done loads of stuff for Saga and all that kind of stuff in the past, are going to be doing a selection of different retinues for you to pick up. So there's an English one, there's a French one, there is a Genoese one, so you can use them as your mercenaries. And there's also a French men-at-arms set. Although, of course, because this is 15 to 28 mil and it's medieval, you can get any miniatures from anywhere, which I think is quite nice. It has been specifically designed to fit the 100 Years' War period, but there's no reason that you couldn't sort of move things around a little bit to the Barons' War period if you wanted to go that route, or maybe a little bit further forward in history to the War of the Roses, which I know Robert Jones has talked about. And as he's professed in some of his videos and stuff, if you're diving into the game, as long as you don't massively shift the period, a guy in armor is still a guy in armor. So a guy in full armor, a guy in armor in full chainmail is exactly the same as a guy in full plate, essentially. And so as long as you take forward that ethos into your games, it should mean that it's fairly easy for you to dive in and sort of mix things up if you prefer. But I think this one's going to be really, really fun. I watched the demo game that's, I think, listed as part of the, if you go into the See What the Community are saying about Écorcheurs, okay? There's a bunch of videos there. Some of them are interviews with the designer. You can go and learn a little bit more about the game, see a demo in action from one of the recent events at Colours, which was really cool. That playtest one at the bottom gives you an idea of how the dice work and sort of how it all flows. Obviously, we did talk about this as part of our Cult of Games as well. So if you want to come over and check out our Indie of the Week about Écorcheurs, you can do. Be linked down below. So you can go and check that out with a free trial or a subscription and see what you think of the game itself. But I think this one's going to be really fun. Nice narrative game for medieval wargamers.
It looks very good.
I do wonder, because Rob is a reenactor, I wonder if he's ever brought like a playtest set with him to an event.
I'd hope so. So you can be like, right, I've done some fighting. Now come and play the game and see if it matches up. Yeah.
Let me teach you my game in full armor.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. But Robert is going to be
I will stab you.
Robert is going to be at a whole bunch of other events throughout the rest of the year as well. So I believe he's going to be at the other Partisan. So you can go and see the game in action there.
Nice.
we've obviously been looking at a preview version of the page, but that will be live by the time you're viewing this, so you can go and check it out, dive into the pledges, and see what you think of it. But Medieval is very hot right now. Jerry.
And Jerry's not doing it. You're very kind to do this while he's not here.
Yes. So make sure to dive in and see what you think of this one. A nice partnership bringing an indie historical game to the tabletop.
Indeed.
But yes, those are our crowdfunders. We'll be back very, very soon with even more news.
Even more news, bitches.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We've got more news to round out the show. Hope you enjoyed those crowdfunding campaigns. Very nice indeed. We will make Jerry start.
Go spend
Medieval.
money.
Yes. Medieval and Mecha. There's a crossover.
Medieval Mecha.
Yeah.
Oh, like what they did to Doom Guy.
Yeah. Cool. And then they can bring in the... Never mind. That is a reference we won't go into. Right. So moving deeper into the news, we have some more stuff to check out. Starting with the wonderful folks at Wargames Atlantic. They just don't stop making plastic kits.
No, they never sleep.
And they have now teamed up with Mini Wargaming Dave to create some fun new stuff for use in your Trench Crusade games. So this is a brand new set of miniatures that is available for you to pre-order right now, which comes with the Trench Missionaries. So these
are your Trench Missionaries Scottish?
They could be, yeah. So these have been designed by Dave, and his concept and his idea for the collection is to introduce a set of more Mormon-style characters and troops into the games.
Okay.
They are currently available to kind of match up to New Antioch if you were diving into Trench Crusade and giving it a go yourself. But Dave has also said that he's going to be looking at expanding this and developing the lore and the background and everything for the Trench Missionaries in the coming weeks and months. So you'll get to learn a little bit more about sort of how they fit into the overall sort of dynamic and the world of Trench Crusade and sort of how they fit into the storyline and the narrative, which I think is quite cool. The set comes with a whole bunch of 32mm figures, which is obviously the sort of recommended scale for playing your games of Trench Crusade. And in the set, you're going to get all sorts of bits and bobs for you to make your characters. I love that he's still got his tie.
Always going to look fabulous.
Always going to look fabulous. So the set comes with enough components for you to build a trench bishop, a high priest, a patriarch, a trench warden, and a trench deacon, as well as a trench missionary as well. And they all come with a variety of different weapon options, as you can see. So lots of different things that you'd expect for them to be carrying, like your standard rifles, machine guns, you've got your trench grenades, you've got your trench maces as well for beating people up.
And again, demon pulper.
Yeah. Very much so. Some demons
heard
not
about
like that.
Your blunt weapons.
There's nothing left of that demon.
Yeah.
Those machine gun with religious intent.
Yes.
This is the kind of missionaries I like.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. These are really cool.
They're very cool.
Very nice, yeah.
There's also that nice mixture, of course, between the sort of World War I-ish aesthetic and the medieval, which is sort of carried through into everything you see from Trench Crusade anyway.
Here's my favorite.
You also have this. So this is the Trench Sentinel, the Missionary Sentinel, who can be used as your big, clanking, heavy badass to include as part of your warband in your games.
Religious badass.
Yes.
Yeah, they've just repurposed an immersion heater.
Very much so.
That's it, yeah.
I did quite like that. If you saw this from afar, as Sundancer pointed out, it looks like the Sentinel's got a top hat on.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, but it's actually just obviously a vent on the top of on the back of it, which is quite nice. But it's carrying through a little bit more of that sort of a bit more of the diesel punk vibe, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah,
and that's obviously carried through into the miniatures that we see here.
It's very nice.
Now, they were sculpted by Tio Zhong, who has done lots of other stuff for Wargames Atlantic. Will be a nice, cool, multi-part, hard plastic set for you to play around with. Obviously, you could be kit bashed with everything else that exists from Wargames Atlantic and everything that exists from the Trench Crusade side of things as well. If you wanted to get some of those STL files and stuff, you could easily mix and match all of this together. But available for you to pre-order now. add into your Trench Crusade games. And for those people who are interested in Trench Crusade, obviously a lot of the miniatures went out to everyone who was backing the Kickstarter. They are all available online right now through my mini factory as well, I believe. Not sure if Only Games have done the physical versions of those yet. I'll have to wait and see. But the rules, they've finally been finalized. They've gone off to the printers and they should be with us fairly soon. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get our hands on a big, lovely book full of gorgeous artwork to start playing their games. You can also play the game right now. Everything is available for free online because they're nice people. So you can go in and get your hands on that. But if you want some miniatures, lovely stuff coming up from Wargames Atlantic. And maybe we'll see more collaborations with other designers and other influencers within the community who want to do more stuff for Trench Crusade in the future. But there
Fingers crossed.
Fun stuff on that.
What would you have Wargames Atlantic make, Ben?
Oh, well, weirdly enough, Westphalia have done what I would have wanted. So Westphalia are doing, and we'll probably talk about that in the near future, they're doing a set of pagan Viking badasses from the north. So it's all of your Norwegians, your Swedes, your Scandinavians, as Jerry would call them, who are going like, right, Thor knows how to deal with this. And so they're coming down to kick ass and take names, which is very cool. So they're very nice. But yes.
Maybe bring in some of the Eastern ones, like the Indian religions.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more stuff from that side of the world. That'd be really nice. Yeah.
What about Northern Irish ones?
Yes. You've already had your own Trench Crusade. It was
just have a big Mecha Buddha rocking in.
That would be cool.
To do some damage.
Yes. Peaceful no more. But yes, fun stuff on that front from the folks at Wargames Atlantic. But to cap things off, we have a little bit of see, Jerry's not here, so I can sneak in some Games Workshop stuff. So we have some more news for Space Marine fans, both the video game fans and the tabletop game fans as well, I suppose, with more stuff on that
the
front.
Smurfs are getting some new characters. So Marneus Calgar himself has been redone once more.
Yeah,
I say once more. Didn't he just recently-ish get?
There have now been 5 versions of Marneus Calgar.
Yeah,
right.
So.
I mean,
because the newest one was like 2021, 2020,
something like that. Yeah, with his gun up like that.
Yeah,
I've got a feel for that character. Anytime I've seen him, the last time I was reading like Ultramarines novels, he was in such a bad place because the Primarch came back. He's just like, he's back. I failed. I'm worthless. No, you're still good, buddy. You're still good. They're still making miniatures for you, so you're definitely doing all right.
You did a great job, man. It's okay.
Space Marines live longer with Calgar,
still there.
So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so we've got the new Marneus Calgar in the big heavy armor with the fists of Ultramar.
Yes,
he's pretty good.
Ultramar.
Yeah,
and then Cato Sicarius got a new miniature for some reason.
He did.
And I can never think of Cato Sicarius without thinking of the version of him from If the Emperor Had Text to Speech.
Yeah.
You have not to interrupt! Cato Sicarius! Jesus.
Well, because
honorable battle, brother.
Yeah, because Cato was the one who was in Space Marine 1. It was implied that Captain Titus was the leader of the second company, but then that was obviously the role that was given to Cato in the actual Warhammer 40,000 lore, and so there's a real sort of like thing between Cato and Titus in terms of who was actually in charge of it.
Well, they've solved it here because they've made him, be the captain for the Victrix Guard.
Yes, which solves out all of those issues, which is good.
Yes. It has been retconned. You can stop arguing online.
Yeah,
they won't.
Of course they won't. I can tell them to. It just means I get to say, well, they ignored me.
Yeah, he comes with a big back banner, which is great. I love back banners. Yeah,
apart from when they snap.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, they've done a really nice job. There's tons of detail on it. Anyone who likes painting with the contrast is going to have a great time with this.
Oh, yeah.
I believe all the detail on that banner is engraved, so you're not having to freehand and go blind and go slightly mad.
Sculpting in. Yeah, as you can see by the Sicarius bit at the bottom.
I also love the Victrix Guard. I love the Victrix Guard eagle faces. They're, as much as I don't like Space Marines very much personally, and Ultramarines in particular, don't really like them, don't really care. That is such a cool helmet.
It really is.
It's so cool. I want it.
Well,
I also like. Sorry, go on, Justin. No, go ahead. I also like that he's wearing the slightly more ornate heresy-esque style armor, which is a really nice touch.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, but The nice thing is there's more than just 2 sculpts for the Victrix Guard now.
Yes.
Well, no, actually, tell a lie, because those look identical. No, one's got a foot on rock. That's fine.
Yeah. There's three
Tactical
different sculpts with different weapons you can get.
Yeah. So I guess Calgar's, up in the security a wee bit. Just he only needed 2. Now he's needing a bit more.
Yeah.
You've also got the chapter Ancient, I believe this one is.
Oh, yes.
With
That
twin
banner
bloody
is-
eye.
Which apparently is the biggest banner in Warhammer.
It looks like the
So,
size of a Space Marine, if not bigger.
Yeah.
Hang on, Ben. You and I have been in the hobby long
God.
enough to remember the old metal version that always fell over.
Oh, God, yes. You had to put money in the base so that he wouldn't tip over.
Yeah, you literally had to weight the base
Yes.
just so it wouldn't fall.
Is this
Yeah.
Tyrannic
It's just
War
like-
veteran stuff? Because
It is,
he's
yeah.
yeah, nice. Love a bit of
Yeah.
Tyrannic War stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Although,
actually, that's
why
actually,
does it have wings? That's Blood Angel's thing.
oh, that's true. But he, saintly Marines.
Angels
I
of
guess.
Death, I get it.
Yeah, Angels
Yeah.
of Death. Yeah. It's a lot of people have been saying that this is going to spur them on to actually do their Tyrannic War veterans. So they're going to have like Marneus,
I hope so.
Calgar, Cato, Sicarius, lots of the Victrix Guard, do full on Tyrannic War veterans with lots of like brutal bits done to their armor, trophies, and that kind of thing as well. It'd be really nice to
Yeah.
see. So
Especially with the
my
recent
shoulder
the
guard is
Votan,
damaged.
the Votan guy as well, who's
yeah, who got
full
the
of
living
Tyranid
guy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a bad day when you're just strapping on bits of dead Tyranid to
Yeah.
keep your armor going.
Very
Yeah.
true.
But
These are all very
Lovely
nice.
stuff, and it's nice to see it continuing to advance and more stuff to come out. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the Smurfs; they're like the poster boys, but they need some loving.
Everybody at
And
some
they're
point in their
workhorse.
life will paint an ultramarine. So
Yeah, guaranteed.
it's guaranteed. Now, what was quite interesting about this as well is that obviously this has been done to match to the version of Calgar from the Space Marine 2 video
Space Marine
game,
2, yeah.
and spoilers when he arrives to save the day.
It's been out long enough
then
now.
Oh
needs
man, I still
saving.
haven't played it for the 4th time.
But this was leaked last week. So I don't think that Games Workshop ever intended for this to come out right now, because I think this was meant to come out next year, I think, to kind of carry us through into the next edition, 11th edition. And this was going to be
They were going to do a new box Battle of McCrag again.
probably, or some kind of big narrative thing about Armageddon or something like that. And this was going to be where the Space Marines got lots and lots more of their big new characters and lots of the other factions as well, potentially. But, leaks are leaks. At least they've got the stuff out there in the world for everyone to have a look at in nice high definition. So,
Yeah.
very cool.
Exactly. Very, very nice.
So, yes. Last bit of news was the Marneus Calgar stuff. Very cool. Check it out if you're a Space Marine fan. I'm sure if you've played Space Marine 2, you might want to snap this up to make a really fun diorama. Oh my God. Someone needs to do that. That'd be so
Yeah.
cool. Oh, oh my God. Yes, do that. With him jumping out of the Thunderhawk. Cool. Anyway, right. Before I go off too fanboy, obviously, you can come and join us on Sunday for even more of this waffling nonsense, where we'll have the Cult of Games for you to dive into. You can come and watch that as a subscriber, or you can come and watch it with a free trial and just see what we're talking about. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we do have our Indie of the Week, which has now moved into our Cult of Games. So if you want to come and check that out, you can come and see us talking about all sorts of fun little stuff from the indie community and beyond. I will also note that the community, being the awesome people that they are, have actually been working on a monthly painting competition over in our forums. So this has been set up by a couple of different members of our community. And so each month you can dive into a fun, little, quick, nice, breezy competition. There's no prizes or anything like that. It's just for the joy of painting something fun. And the theme for September is cities. So if you want to dive into that and check it out and put your entries into the forum, you can do. You've still got a couple of weeks left of September, so you've got plenty of time to do that. 1 week left. Yeah. Oh my God, this year has vanished. There's also fun music, which is always put in there as well. So something for you to paint along to at the same time, which is quite nice. So check out the painting competition, which has been set up by our wonderful community members. Have some fun with that. So, Cult of Games on Sunday. Come on, watch us over there. Make sure to get diving into the painting competition. See if you're a winner of the Spring Clean Hobby Challenge. There's also winners, obviously, every week for the Weekender. So if you commented either on the show here on YouTube or over on OnTableTop, you could be a winner of one of those vouchers. Make sure you get into the prize claim form and see if you're a winner on that front. I will also note, make sure to do all the things like, share, subscribe. It's YouTube. If you click the buttons, things go well for us. So make sure to go
Yes.
over there and do all of that stuff. Bing, bing. And if you don't want to do it for us, do it for the cat.
And we just hit 1 million views. Well done, guys.
Exactly. Way.
It's now technically an internet cat video. Those always
There
get
you
views.
go. Yeah.
Very true.
Put
The
that in the
algorithm
tags.
will pick that up. Fantastic. So yes, I hope you have a wonderful week of gaming if you're not going to join us on Sunday. And we'll see you back next week on Friday where Jerry will return. Bye for now.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.